Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Papercrafting Saturday. I'm Leslie Watkins, and let me get my camera turned around here. Oops, there we go. All right, sorry for the delay today. I've been poking around in the archives to find some old projects that I want to share with you. I think you're really going to be interested in what I have, especially the folks out there that love to make journals and junk journals and bookmakers. I have an assortment of things that I did some years ago, and what I'm planning on doing is to come up with a brand new version, which I will be offering in December as part of our bi-monthly journal class. And this is going to be a Christmas planner. So let me show you what I found. Here's something I made way back when. And it has a hard spine. So let's measure this. This is a 2-inch spine, and the overall size is about 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. Okay, and you may recognize some of this old DSP from, I think this is circa 2017. But on the inside here, you see you have a pocket, and I've got some things tucked in here. So I've got a little clip with a bow, a little notepad, and got a card here and a cute little note card here. No doubt you may remember some of these old stamp sets as well. Here is a beautiful 3D embossing folder with this beautiful cutout trim around the edges. And it's a flat. Behind here I have a calendar. This is a Christmas planner so that you can plan out your month in advance and get ready in time before all the chaos hits. Here is the date. You can see 2017. There's a card in here. Here's a Christmas checklist. There's room for writing down people's gifts, stocking stuffers, and treats. Again, another card that you could adhere photographs to or recipes. And then in the back, another pocket with more goodies tucked in. So that was one of the first ideas I had to make a Christmas planner. But then over time it kind of evolved and became a little more simplified. So here's an example of a little Christmas folder. And this is stitch bound with the pamphlet stitch. And inside there are some pages for, this is more of a journal, so you can keep notes, write down your thoughts. There's a couple of cute tags tucked into the flap here. And then again, you have your Christmas planner with the different pages inside and a nice little stamped Santa on the cover. Here's another one, similar to the last one, except this time it has 3 signatures. And now we've got a beautiful little verse here from the night before Christmas. There's a recipe for Christmas cookies. You've got your weeks, your menus, your calendar. Again, the checklist with all of the Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers and treats, room for people's measurements, their preferences, notes. And then you have a page here with calls to make and your Christmas card list and notes. So I thought today what I would do is show you a prototype that I'm working on for the December journal, Christmas journal planner. Let's say it's not really a journal, it's more of a planner. And the basic design is going to look something like this. So it's going to be bound with a thin spine and the trim. This one features a little bit of a cute dangle here. So you can decorate these however you like. And then on the inside will be the planner pages that I just showed you. But what I'm thinking about is how to decorate the cover here. So for that, I've taken out my Poinsettia Petals stamp set and Poinsettia dies. And these are in the annual catalog, and they're really wonderful. So I'll give you a close-up of that. There are 18 stamps in this set and 18 dies. And when used together, you can create an amazing decoration for your journals, your planners, your cards, gift boxes, gift tags, you name it. This is one of the really, really nice bundles that I think are very worthwhile for Christmas projects. So I had a piece of paper here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So I've got a piece of designer series paper, and this is from the Peaceful Prints collection. And I'm going to use this as my base. I have another little journal here that I made. I showed this to you not too long ago. And in it, I have more of this designer series paper from the Peaceful Prints. And this would be great for putting photographs, recipes, notes, whatever you like on the inside. And I'm going to do a decoration something like this today, but instead of just adhering it to the cover, I'm going to use this as the base. And I have a number of pieces that I've already cut out using the poinsettia dies. So there we go. And I've got an assortment of things in real red, garden green, and the gold foil. And you can already see how pretty these things look together. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get the edges of this paper sponge, because you can see there's a little bit of white showing through. Excuse me. I just want to check to make sure that you can see me. That looks good. Hey Kelly, Ginger, Abby, thank you so much for waiting for me. I know I was a little bit late today. Couple of things. It's freezing here. All the water outside is frozen. We had a little bit of snow yesterday. And so I had to get the fire going. Had to put some seeds out for the birds. And after I do the video today, I have to make sure that the chickens can get to their water okay and it's not frozen solid. And then of course I remembered my Christmas planner, so I had to go poking around in the archives to find that. So one thing led to another. So here we go. Just going to bring a little extra color, excuse me, around the edges, just like so. Okay, so that's my base. And let's see if we can add a little extra depth to our leaves. I'm going to take the sponge dauber. See if I can show you this a little bit better. I'm just going to give a little darker accent around some of these leaves. These dies are actually two-part dies. There's the section that cuts the leaf out, and then there's another section that actually embosses the veins on the leaf, so they're particularly nice. So this journal class that I'm going to be offering for December will be going out onto the announcements this weekend. And if you're interested in learning more about it, please go to dandelioncottagedesign.com and subscribe to Notes so that you can get on the mailing list and receive my notifications of all of the classes and workshops that I have coming right up. And I'm thinking that the last journal workshop I had, the design journal workshop, was very popular, and I want to make sure that I have enough supplies for everybody for this Christmas journal workshop. And also, I don't want to offer the workshop too late so that it starts getting too close to Christmas and people are going to get too busy. So it's going to come up pretty fast, and it's going to be limited to a certain amount, and I'm not sure what that is. I have to go through the inventory and figure out how many kits I can make. So if it's something that you're curious about, that you think you'd really like to take part in, these journals will make fantastic Christmas gifts for friends and family. They make great stocking stuffers. So you're going to want to act quickly to make sure that you can hold your spot in class. And after the video today, I will put links in the description. So if you'd like to follow up, you can do that. Now the way the poinsettia flowers work, and for those of you who are gardeners, you probably think, oh, those aren't petals, those are leaves. Did you know that the red petals on the poinsettia flowers are actually the leaves, and it's in the center where that tiny little cluster of yellow is that the actual flowers are? Little gardening tidbit for you. But these dyes for the flowers work as do the leaves, in that the dye is two-part. So there's one to cut out the flower and another one to put this embossing on the veins. And they come in an assortment of sizes so that you can assemble them like so. I'm going to show you this in just a minute. But you see they all come together in a beautiful, very, very opulent flower. I love these gold berries, and so I've cut out quite a few. I'm probably not going to use all of them today, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty. So those are ready to go. And I just have one more flower to sponge. I just think that when you add a little extra tone, or you shape your die cuts so that they have a little more form, I think it adds so much to the project and just makes it really, really fun. Now, another thing that you can do, I have these little berries also cut out in red. If you've got the Shimmery crystal effects, I think I have some handy. Let's see. Yep, there's some. So here, this is the Shimmery crystal effects, and this is I'll actually give you a demonstration here. So let me move these things over a little bit. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper out. So if you take a shape like these berries, and then you take your Shimmery crystal effects, you can just squeeze a little dollop on each one of these berries like so. Got one more. Okay. You want to make sure that you screw the lid on nice and tight with this so it doesn't dry out. Alright, so now what we have is these kind of opaque or translucent looking berries. But if you put this aside to dry, and it's really thick, so it's going to take some time. I like to leave it overnight just to be certain that it's good and dry. what happens is that these little berry shapes will turn crystal clear, and inside of each one are going to be these sparkly little bits that really pick up the light and are actually um, look like oh, I don't know, like little, I don't know, little gemstones with bits of sparkle on the inside. But anyway, this is a wonderful way to add texture and sparkle to your project for those extra special times. And I will, you know, as we get closer to the Christmas journal workshop, I will probably be using this at some point, and you'll be able to see how that came out. But I would really recommend that you have some of this. Let me get you out. You're too close now. The Shimmery Crystal Effects, because I think it's in low inventory right now. So you want to make sure that you have some if this kind of a decoration appeals to you. So I'm going to just take this away and put this someplace safe. Okay. So here we are back to my planner cover. So this is going to be a vertical. And I'm going to grab my dimensionals. So I've got the standard size dimensionals, and I'm also going to get out the mini dimensionals. And let's see what we can do here. I've got a couple of big flowers. Let's see. I think I'm going to put those together. Something like that. With the leaves, I'm just going to fold them along the center line and give them a little pinch. So they look like that. And I'm just using my thumbnail to help that along. Before the pandemic, I used to do a wonderful Christmas fair here in my town, and I had these planners for sale, and people loved them. In the planner, there will be pages that you can print out with all of that information that I told you about a minute ago. And the recipe that's included is for Christmas sugar cookies. And I think they're absolutely the best and easiest sugar cookies that you could make. And of course, I make them year round. I'm not much of a baker, but this recipe is so easy and so good that I do make them. Now with my bone folder, I'm going to grab my poinsettia, and I'm just going to give that a little bit of a bend. I'll have some of them curling up, some curling down. Is it too soon to start thinking about Christmas? It's not even Thanksgiving. But I'll tell you what, when December, as soon as Thanksgiving is done, we're all going to get so busy. And if you want to take the time to make your own Christmas cards and stocking stuffers or fun projects like this Christmas planner, I really don't think it's too soon, especially if you have to order materials and supplies. You want to make sure that you get all those things in time. So it's good to think ahead. Oh, those flowers behind me, Ginger, those are the dried hydrangea blossoms from the garden. When they get really dry and it's time to get rid of them, they also make great fire starters. So I heat my house with firewood, and so every day there's a fire going here. This is the time of year that I go out into the woods and I start collecting sticks. Oh, let's see how I'm going to place this. I'm going to have the bigger flower down here, and I'm using the dimensionals in between each layer, and then I'm just going to stagger these a little bit. There we go. Put this one here. I think I'm going to switch to my mini dimensionals for this layer. There we go. Okay, so there's my flowers. Now I'm going to grab my glue dots. And now the leaves do have a direction to them, so you want to make sure that you have the veins going in the right way. And I'm just going to tuck those under. I'm starting with the larger. There's two sizes to these holly leaves. I'm starting with the larger. And I think I'll put 3 of those. And now the slightly smaller ones. And I'm just going to overlap those a little bit. This would also be a fantastic decoration for the lid of a box. So if you had a very special gift that you wanted to give somebody and you needed a special box, or if you needed a box to hold some Christmas cards or Christmas tags, cookies, any of those things, this would be very pretty. Okay, now I also have these beautiful gold centers. So I'm going to adhere that also with a glue dot. And that's going to add really nice touch of sparkle to the design. There we go. And then last but not least, we have the gold berries. And I'm going to use the liquid glue for those. Get back on camera here. I seem to be shifting away. So I'm just going to put a tiny little drop of glue on these berries. And I'm going to grab my handy tweezer to place that. Let's see. I'm going to grab it in a different spot. Just going to tuck that in just like so. There's one. Let's grab another one. So I haven't completely designed the kit yet, but it will include the spine, ribbon, some embellishments, and when I say ribbon, I mean the trim that you're going to use to tie the planner together. And by the way, you know, if the planner idea does not appeal to you, you can always decorate it any way you like. So if you'd like to, hold on a second, let me grab this better. If you'd like to turn the planner into a journal or a photo album or a Christmas kind of a junk journal and just design all of the pages with all sorts of goodies, tags and stamps and everything else, then that's entirely up to you. But you will have everything that you need to assemble the basic journal, and you don't have to use this poinsettia set to decorate it. You could use a different one. There's so many wonderful Christmas sets out there. You may have something already that you'd like to use. And it's also a great way to use those retired items that you already have in your stash, because you can stamp on the pages on the inside. You can add flaps and pockets to hold tags and other goodies. I always grab this on the wrong side. this over here. There we go. Okay, maybe a little bit more up there. There we go. There we go. Actually, you can see it better this way, maybe. I'll give you a close-up. There. Now, I think you'll agree that that is just gorgeous. And as I said before, this is a wonderful idea for just about anything. I mean, you could even use this idea to make napkin holders for your table settings. I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, Christmas is that time of year when everything gets decorated. So I think that this is a particularly nice one. Now I do want to add a couple of little embellishments. So let me see what I've got handy here. I've got some red rhinestones and I have the gilded gems. I think I want to put a couple of the gilded gems on there. Put a couple of these big ones. And the gilded gems have small, medium, and large. So I'll put, let's see, I'll put two down here. And then a few more here. Maybe one more, like so. Oops. There we go. And let me get my journal out. So here's my journal. And that's going to fit nicely on there. Now before I adhere that down to the journal, I just wanted to show you, this is one of the mini paper pumpkin boxes that is food safe. So if you wanted to put some of those delicious Christmas sugar cookies in here, this all just folds up nicely. And this is the lid. And I think if I just put this here, you can use your imagination and just see what a spectacular gift that would be. A little bit of ribbon to hold it closed. Wow. Okay, so let's get this adhered on there. I probably should have waited to put the gemstones on before I did this, but we'll manage. No, oh, that's my old glue. Hang on a sec, let me get a fresh one. Get as close to the edge as possible without getting too close, because I expect this to be handled quite a bit, so I want to make sure that it's adhered really well. There we go. So there is one idea for the cover of your Christmas journal or planner, whichever it may be, using the poinsettia, what is it called? Poinsettia petals and poinsettia dies. And again, if you would like to join me in my Christmas journal workshop, please subscribe to Notes from Dandelion Cottage Design. That's the website on the screen. And just go there. There's a tab that says Notes, and all you have to do is subscribe, and I will be able to send you all the information about the upcoming Christmas planner workshop. And it's going to go by fast because we're getting close to December now, and so it's not going to have quite as long as a registration period as the normal classes. So you're going to want to take advantage of this as soon as you can, and you will be getting the materials that you need to create the planner, the pages, the heavy-duty spine, the trim to stitch it together, and some embellishments. And I hope you like that. I hope that this gave you a lot of ideas. Put this way so you can see the whole thing. Whoa, a little bit too close. Here we go. All right. So thank you so much for watching today. It's always a pleasure. And stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time on Marvelous Monday.